Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. All things Middle Earth here, and if you are like me at all, when I play a brand new game and there's a bunch of buttons on the screen, it can be very overwhelming, and you can spend a long time learning, clicking through to see where different things take you. You might forget stuff, but that can be a lot. So today we're going to be doing a UI tour or an interface tour, looking at least just this main screen to start, what all these different things lead to, what they mean, all that good stuff. Now, this is going to be a very brief introduction to these things for new players or new returning players, whatever it is, because we could honestly spend hours going through each of these different things, and some of them have multiple layers. We're going to click one button, then go into another screen, and there's a lot of buttons. So today we're just looking at this in the general sense for what these things mean. It is May 1st today. This month we're actually focusing on some more new player content for this game. So if you're a new player or you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, because I'll have new content out for new players, again, talking about a lot of these things. Today we're going to talk about, like, for example, in the top left is the ring, your ring of power. I'm just going to show you where that is and kind of how to access that today. But in a future video, we're going to talk through this screen right here and which points you should be prioritizing, what you can ignore, all that good stuff, what these things actually do or mean. So if you want more detailed guides on specific areas, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out. But let's go ahead and jump into the tour and roll the intro. Okay, before we jump into the actual tour, I want to say really quickly here, if you're new, I have a top-up link, which is linked down below. If you're not new, I'm sorry, you probably heard this 100 times, but there is an affiliate link down in the description below. It goes to this website right here. This is the top-up center for NetEase. This is their own legit official website here, and you can use this website to make purchases in-game exactly as if you were making them in-game and you went here and you bought gems or did what, bought any of these bundles. All this stuff is available on this website right here. All you have to do is put in your server you're in and your user ID. You can find those by clicking on your little picture right here in the top left and clicking on your little account button right here. It's then going to show you your server. So mine is 0440 and this is my UID. You can actually copy your UID, so it's really quick. Just copy that, hop over, and then put that, paste it right in there if you want to. But again, if you do that and log in, it's going to log into your actual account. And if you use this link, first of all, it's not any more expensive than the game. It's actually cheaper in certain parts of the world. Some people in the EU have said that they've saved money using the link. And thirdly, it does support the channel. Again, there's a reason I'm promoting it. But if you spend on this, I do get a very small kickback, and it does add up. So it's very appreciated, even if you're just doing a small purchase. If you would use this, it would mean the world to me. If not, no sweat, not the end of the world. But just want to let you guys know that this is an option. Again, linked down below. All right, now that we got the housekeeping items out of the way, we can jump into the actual tour. We're gonna be starting here up in the top left of the screen. We're just gonna follow this clockwise in a complete circle, covering everything on the screen. And again, the goal of this video is just to kind of show what these buttons do or what they mean at the very least at a very basic level. So if you're brand new, if it's your first day, again, if you're a little overwhelmed, I'm gonna break it down for you as quickly as possible. And in the future, we'll be doing some more videos this month going more in detail. So like I said, on the ring, we'll have a specific ring point guide coming out very soon. And I'll link those in this video once they're out. So if you're watching this later, if we're like past May, for a month or two out, those are probably already out. So you might see that in the top right now. But if you are new, consider subscribing, hit the bell icon, all that good stuff, because those videos will be coming out. But today is just a very general overview. All right. So like I said, the first one is going to be the ring. So this first one right here, when you start a campaign, you're going to get a ring of power. Here you can see all these points. Now we're not going to talk about that today, but you have this bar right here which shows you all of the power production you have. And every time this bar gets filled all the way up, you get another point, and you can put that into your ring. You get points by collecting tiles. Tiles, if you click on any tile in the game, will show you this little icon here. This is the kind of symbol for power production. So this tile I'm clicking on right now has 60 power per hour. So all the tiles that I have goes to my power production, as well as a few other things, but you have this power production. And as you add more and more quickly, you'll get these points adding up, and you can use them here in your ring. But that is the ring of power in the very top left. All right, next up is this picture right here. Now I switched accounts to show you guys so it makes a little bit more sense. This is the next button we're looking at here. This is an account I have that's in bag end. So we have no ring here, just the kind of bag end lobby area. But here, if you click on your picture, whatever that is in the top left, it's going to take you to your account screen right here. Now, a lot of this is just account stuff. It's not in-game related. But the one thing I do want to look at is the village. So you'll have this thing here that says village. You might also, if you're already in a village, it'll be a shield and have your village name. We're going to do a whole video on villages in a little bit, so we're not going to go crazy on it. But the TLDR is you can make these groups or these villages with your friends and go in there And the main purpose in my mind is that this allows you to join your friends if they are already in a campaign and you are not in that campaign. So if I'm sitting here in Bag End like I am right now on my account, and my friends or my group that I'm playing with have already gone and they're in a server, what I can do is I can utilize the village feature to join their village, and then through the village, join the campaign. Now, that is a very quick summary. There are a lot of details and caveats you have to do to make this work. And one of them is being in a village for a certain period of time. You have to reach a certain status of kind of influence or whatever within the village. So make the village sooner rather than later. Get in it before you need it, or just try and plan ahead, because you do have to be in it for a while. You can also just search here to click join and look at different ones, but I would suggest just finding one with your friends and then having that as a backup if someone gets kind of left out one season or registration gets messed up, whatever it is. But that is the village feature and kind of the one main point I wanted to highlight on this screen here. All right, continuing on, the next area is this little number right here. It says 192 out of 216. It'll be a different number or two numbers for you. These are your tiles in game. So you can click here, or you just can look at it to see how many tiles you have and how many tile spaces you have available. You can also click here to see all of the forts you have, as well as different field barracks. So I have a mountainous layer, for example, for my fell beast. So that's over there. So you can see that there, all of your forts and all of your tiles. There's a filter feature as well right up here. If you click this button, you can filter by those things. So if I just want to see certain power tiles, maybe I want to look at my higher power tiles, or maybe I want to look at my lower power tiles. If I do that, then I can maybe see which tiles I want to get rid of to keep growing my tile spaces, all that good stuff. So you can filter by clicking this button and use that however you like. But that is the tile overview you can see in the game. Next up at the top, these four kind of numbers here are your individual resource production. So there are 4 different types of resources. We have wood, we have stone, we have ore, and we have wheat. And again, those tiles are all in the game. So as you grab tiles, you can see here they say, this one, for example, if you look down below the person who owns it here, it says 1,000, it says ore, 1,000 ore per hour. We can keep scrolling around and see that different tiles have different hourly values. So obviously the higher power tile, if it's a 300 is the most, they're going to give the most resources per hour. And if it's a 1 power tile, it's the least, they actually give you 50 of each per hour. So it's really 200 total per hour. So that's how you can get the different types of resources. And up here, we just see those totaled up so you can see what you're looking at. If you click on it, it will give you a kind of more detailed look at the different types of resources, which we're not going to get crazy into, but you can kind of see where your different resources are coming from for your account. And the main thing here is I would look and I would see, okay, my grain, my wheat, whatever you call it, is at 34,000, which is half of my next lowest two, which are around 70 or 80. So if I'm trying to balance my resource economy, I'd be focusing on getting grain tiles. So that's definitely what I would do if I was using this kind of resource panel page, but that's what all those numbers are up there. And again, if they're red like mine are, that means your resources are capped out. So if you're trying to be very efficient, I would make sure that does not happen, but our season's kind of winding down. So we're just chilling right now, but that is all the resources at the top of your screen. Next up, continuing in that order, we have these 2 mugs right here. If I click on this, it's going to take me to the community page. Now this is going to load for just a second. Here we go. This is, think of like if Rise Tour had a social media. That's the best way I can describe it. It's honestly kind of nice, but I don't use it very much. I find it a little bit clunky, but let me know if you guys use it and like it. Again, I would like to start posting more of my content in here so you guys can see it in game, like this person has a YouTube link. But for some reason, my stuff won't post in here, oddly enough. So I'm trying to get that figured out with NetEase. But there are just different chats going on, different guides. You can go to this little book icon here and click on commanders to see different commanders. You can see guides people put together. I will say, just with anything, even with this video, take everything with a grain of salt, because just because someone posts it somewhere or posts it on the internet does not mean it's true. So maybe get a second opinion if you're looking at a guide for how to build someone, or just because you see a commander here doesn't mean they're great. We have a lot of tier lists. We have a pretty updated tier list on commanders on the channel. So if you want to look through that to kind of vet and make sure things are lining up, you can do that. But you can find some cool resources and have some chats in here with people. So let me know if you guys, I'm honestly curious who uses this, because I do feel like it has a lot of potential. If it was a little bit less clunky, again, if you go down to this very last button on the left side, you can actually see your posts, your favorite, who your followers are, and who you follow. And so I think there's potential where you could actually follow different content creators you like. You could follow your fellowship leaders, you could follow your friends, whatever it is, and see what they post, kind of like a Rise to War feed. Now, again, I know no one's playing this game to have like a social media inside of it, But if it actually pertains to game stuff going on, it's helpful information, I think it could be cool. But again, some stuff you see, devs, why are you so dumb? So again, some of the stuff is more people ranting in here, so it's not maybe the best if you're really trying to learn. But that is the community page for Rise to War. Next up is the store. You can click this little money bag icon right here. It's going to take you to the store. And again, there are 5 different tabs you can go to and look at different things that you can purchase within the game. Not going to go crazy into detail here. I think that makes sense for a lot of people with games, how that kind of stuff works. I will say very, very quickly, the season pass is probably the best value. It's probably the best bang for your buck if you're looking to buy and spend a very, very little amount of money on this game. This is probably the best thing that gets you the most stuff. It's $15 at least for USD. So if you're wondering what that kind of value item is, it's definitely the season pass. But anything else you want, whether it's just bundles or certain things for the game, or just buying straight up gems so you can buy Mathams, that all happens here. And again, like I said earlier, I do have a top-up link that's down below. So if you're going to buy anything here, if you use the link, it does support the channel and it'd be very, very appreciated. Lastly, for the top is this shield. This is the events page. There's not a whole lot going on my account right now, but if there are any events going on in your season, they will all show up here. So you usually see a red dot here if things are happening, but you can check here to see if there's anything upcoming that you want to get ready for, or at the beginning of the seasons, there are some kind of like competitions you can do where based on your power production, you get certain rewards. Right now we have this Unstoppable Conquest going on where we can get some gems, but nothing really crazy. But this is where events pop up if they're happening. I'm always a big fan of content in this game. So NetEase, especially if you guys are listening, I would love to see more events happening for players to compete in or just do and unlock different rewards. I think that'd be great. So hopefully this panel gets more use in the future, but I don't find it's something I'm using very, very often. All right, continuing down the line, I flip myself over here so you guys can see over on this side, over that way. At the very top here, we have this booklet here. This is where you can see the season pass as well as your, I'm going to call this your season quests. There are these 4 different areas: development, thick and thin, formidable confrontation, and affairs of the tactician. These are just different things you do throughout the season, and you get small rewards for them. Again, there are gems in a lot of them, if not all of them. And honestly, I haven't added it up. If someone has added it up, let me know. I feel like there's probably a couple thousand at least gems you can get in here because it's 10 and then 30 and then 50. Some have even more. So if you do all of these, there's quite a bit that you can get. So these are kind of the things that you're going to do as you progress throughout the season, but some are a little bit specific. So it might be worth looking to see if there's things you're missing that are very easy. Like one is to post in fellowship chat like 50 times. So we actually in our fellowship chat made a spam channel for people to post just stickers in so they can unlock and get those rewards, which as silly as it sounds, it was an easy thing to do. So that is that, just a note on things that are kind of not, you wouldn't think about doing them. Maybe you don't post a lot in chat, but I would look through here to see if there's things that you want to do to get some more rewards. The next button below this envelope is kind of your notification area. So first of all, this first tab, we have battle reports. So any fights you do, any tiles you take, that's all going to show up here. The next one is mail. So these are all things, again, different scouting reports for tips that I'm doing, messages from the devs. We just got these Elven Craftsman's hammers, update notices, any kind of messages that go out to your account. Those are going to go here in this mail area. Next up, we have the fellowship pins. So you can go here and look at all your fellowship pins. And the last one is announcements. These are all the announcements you can see. So again, we have the update notice here from the game where we can see what's going on this week with the most recent update. Continuing down in the very bottom right corner, this is the Matham button. There's probably a lot that could be said here, and we'll probably do this in its own video. But the very TLDR is this is where you can open Matham chests. Mathams are these coins right here. They cost 400 gems a piece, or you can just unlock them sometimes throughout the season. But that's how you get respect for your commanders. That's how you get gear for your commanders, all that good stuff. So chests all show up here, and there's some different tabs here for exchange. You can exchange kind of items you don't want for other things. But again, trying to keep this a little bit short and sweet, but this, just think of this as your kind of Matham area where you can get Mathams, exchange stuff, all that good stuff. That's happening in this tab. Next up is the Tavern. The Tavern, you get these tips every single day. These are going to refresh. I can click on these guys and I can see that if I do this task for him, I'm going to get 2 of these vouchers I'm going to process later. This one is going to give me a random piece of gear. These are great to do every day because you do have a chance to get gold gear. It's only 2%, but it does happen. It's happened to me a couple of times, so I'm going to accept that. The next one is going to be a resource cart for resources in game. We're going to accept that. And the last one is going to be for some mithril ore. These convert to actual usable pure mithril at a 10-to-1 rate. So if you're doing these every day, that's going to add up. So if you go into the Tavern, you can collect all those and you can see all the tips you have right here. Again, some are just things you have to dispatch where I need to click on someone and put them in there. And so it's going to have him in there for 2 hours. Once that 2 hours is up, I get that. Other ones are on the map. So if it just says go, that means whatever it wants me to do is on the map, which it's always going to be sweeping a mob. So right here, I just need to click here and then click check. And I'm going to move and sweep that tile. As soon as that is done and resolves, assuming I do take that mob out, it's going to then be completed. So I can go over here and click claim. Again, some of them have multiple armies. So it says defeat the specific armies 0 out of 2. So for one of these, I have to sweep 2 armies. This one, it's 0 of 2. There's 2 resource cards you got to collect. So make sure you check that 0 out of whatever number, because there might be 2 things to sweep for your objective, for your tip. This very last tab, the third tab here, takes you to your XP scrolls as well. So also on the map to sweep are your mobs. After a certain progression in your season, you're going to have these mobs spawn with the little torches here. These are your XP mobs or your XP scroll, whatever you want to call them. And so as I take these guys out, I'm going to unlock these different XP scrolls. So every day you want to make sure you're doing your XP scrolls so you can level up your commanders. Very, very important. But here's how you can track and make sure you got all that done. Moving on is the commander tab. This is right here. Now, this is also another tab we could spend a lot of time on, so we're not going to go too much into depth with this, but I will just say this is where you can see all of your commanders. This is where you can gear them up by clicking the buttons right here to put gear on them. This is where you can, if you click skill right here, you can see all their skills and you can put skill points on them. So sort of all your commander management, everything that you have going on is going to happen here. So we'll do a more detailed guide very soon on this. But, you know, again, how much stamina they have, what level they are, what respect level they are. Again, this level 41 out of 50, this is season specific. As you get experience, they level up. This top level here, this respect level, this is permanent on your account as you give them respect gifts. So as I give Shadow these gifts, these will never go away on him. And that's his respect level, which kind of dictates some certain things he can do, different trees you have unlocked for skills, and how many points you have to use for your skills. So that is the commander page. And again, there's a lot of these here. You can also favorite your commanders. So if you go, I'm actually blocking it right behind me. There's a button right here. I went ahead and moved so you guys can see it, but this button right here will show you your favorited commanders. So if you click in this heart in the top right above me, it will favorite different commanders that you have. And so you can filter by your favorite commanders or not. So we do have some options here for filtering as well if you want, but this is the whole commander screen interface. Now I'm going to stay over here, but right here next to me, you can see it says Warband. This is the Warband tab. So if you're not in a Warband, you click this. It'll have a big screen that says you can create or join a warband. I would obviously suggest getting in a warband. This is a team game. But once you're in a warband, this is the entire area. Again, this could probably have its own video too. This is where you can see what your overall announcement for the game is. This is a sarcastic message, by the way, before I get messages accusing us of making people show bank statements. But little announcement there for the team. You can see the language, the players, the leader, all that good stuff. So anything to do with your fellowship or with your warband is going to be happening in this area. Again, probably need to break this one down on its own because there's a lot here, but this is how you can interact with your team. Next up, next to that is the item bag. This is where you can see all the stuff that you have. So first of all, we have our equipment we can see in the first tab. The second tab is going to be all your consumable respect items. So these items are items you can gift to your commanders. These are permanent on your account. They never go away, so you don't have to worry about using them at a certain point. But these are all the commander gifts that you can use to upgrade the respect of your commanders and unlock more skills or skill points for them. The third one, these are mostly things that expire in the season, not all of them. If they have this little purple banner with the clock looking thing on it, that means they expire after the season. If they don't, that means they're permanent on your account. But these are kind of the season specific consumables that boost resource production or speed up a march or speed up a building, whatever it is. Those are those kind of consumables. And last but not least, this is going to be sort of consumable area, but they're more account specific ones. We do have our XP scrolls here, as well as our silver ingots, which are going to expire on the season. Everything else in here is permanent. So we see our vouchers, we see our gold ingots, we see our different chests that give us respect items, our mithril, our hammers, all that good stuff is over here. So if you're wondering where stuff is, it's in one of these 4 tabs. And for the most part, they're split up pretty well to where you can kind of tell where things are, but that is the item bag. Next up is the season tab. This is a pretty full area as well. So we're just going to look at a brief overview of these kind of progressive chapters. So if you're starting a new season, you're going to be here on the journey begins, and this will progress in a certain amount of time or after this task, which is tiles being occupied, has completed. And as you progress through these, you're going to unlock a little bit of gems, 200 gems, and different things will unlock. So your mob levels will increase. You'll unlock certain Matham chests as you go. Map tips, these are the daily tips I was talking about. Those unlock at chapter 3. Structure development, this is for Rebuilding Glory specifically, but different features in your campaigns unlock at certain points. At level 6, for example, your structures begin producing power. You can't change factions. So all of that kind of stuff associated with the game that's kind of on timers like that, those all happen, even up to the ring opening up. So right here, the protection on Dolgodor is fading, so it can be taken after chapter 10. So it just shows you where you're at in your season. Next up is the Red Book. Red Book, it used to be more of a thing. It's not really anymore. So right now there's actually no challenges active, but if I think it's every 3 days or so, you can come in here and just click claim. And it's just going to give you a free Matham as well as 100 gems and 5 vouchers. So very, very just random but free thing. So grab that. There is a second tab above me, and if you click on that, it's going to show you all these missions that you can do. Mine are all done, but you can still go through and look at them. And some of them, like that I have 1-starred, for example, still will give you some more rewards. So you can see over here, I have some gear I can get, some speed ups, lots of speed ups that will expire when you're using them. So just kind of, do that whenever you feel like it. But if you've not done them, there will be a good amount of gems you can get from this. And some of the earlier ones actually do give you some respect as well as some more gear starting out. So if I go back, you can see some blue gear. I think there's some Merry and Pippin respect at the very beginning. Yeah. So again, if you're brand new, it's a good thing to do. And again, they're kind of tedious, so just do it when you have free time. But that is the kind of Red Book quest that you have. But there's no actual challenges available. So you just get a free gem every I think it's 3 days. And lastly, for this kind of bottom right part that we're on is the leaderboard. If you click on the leaderboard, we have these 4 different areas. We see personal power production. This is power production from tiles. We see Warband production, which is an entire Warband's power production. Development level, which is just for Rebuilding Glory. This is from structure tasks and developing structures in Rebuilding Glory. And last, we see contribution ranking, which is like PvP. That's the big part of this. So if you're fighting people, you get contribution. So we can see in our faction specifically who is contributing the most. You can see where you're at. Been a little bit of a slow season, so I'm not where I usually would like to be. But again, it lets me prioritize making content like this, so not too upset. But this is where you can see all of the contribution rankings for the game. All right, bottom left of the screen, then we're going to be wrapping this thing up. First of all, we have the search feature. This is going to allow you to search for pretty much anything in the game. If you follow these tabs here, you can look for any kinds of tiles. You can look for chieftains or bosses that you can spawn on the map, which we might talk about later. We can look up mobs. We can look up neutral units, which we'll also do a tier list on soon, as well as mysterious springs and uncanny effigies. So if you're just trying to find something on the map near to you, this is the way to do it. Most of those things can be found here. And it does allow you to filter by tile size or by mob level or whatever it is. So if you want to find something specific, you can use the search function. Next up is the pins tab. I don't actually use this one a whole lot. It doesn't seem super convenient for me, but if you want to, you can click on here. It'll show you the most important thing are all of your fellowship pins. So you want to be making sure you're paying attention, you know what's going on. Click on that and see what the pins are for your fellowship here. Next up is the map. If you click on this, it's going to take you to the map. So when we're all zoomed out, you can see the whole map. As you zoom in, you're going to see more things pop up, like different keeps, which are the circular areas, or even we'll see different crossings or tunnels or whatever it is. So if you're trying to navigate somewhere or find how to get, you want to make sure you zoom into the map so you can see what the actual path is for that. So you can look at the map, plan out your next moves, see what's going on, all that here. All right, 2 more things. First of all, we have this home button here. This is the home and return button. So if you're not home, it will take you home. If you are home, it will return you to the last place you were at on the map. So you can click that to go back and forth. If you're fighting, maybe want to run home to do something or check something out, you can do that, but then also quickly jump back to where you were fighting on the map. And then last, I kind of want to say least, but maybe not least, is the chat function. This is the world icon down in the bottom, the very bottom left of the screen. This opens up all the chats. We have world chat, we have faction chat, warband chat. You can see all your DMs right here. So again, use this at your own discretion. I feel like it can be a lot of fun to be social and have fun. I feel like a lot of people take it too far. I've gotten heated. I've gotten in there, right? Nobody's perfect, but for the most part, this is how you communicate with people in game, whether it's to do diplomacy, you just talk to your team, check your warband chat to see what people are doing, all that good stuff. You can communicate pretty much with everyone through that function there. And that will pretty much do it for our kind of interface tour, our UI tour. Again, we could go in depth. This video could be multiple hours long. If you're a new player, I doubt you want to watch a multi-hour long video to go in depth. I am going to do separate videos talking about specific things that we looked at that are very important that you should know more about. Like I keep saying it, so I'm going to do it, but it is like a ring point guide, for example. Those will be coming out very soon this month. So make sure you subscribe, don't miss out on those, but that will do it for this video on the interface. Let me know in the comments down below if you didn't know something or if I missed something that you feel like is very, very important for new players. I'd be happy to pin a comment or make sure. Again, I'm definitely prone to making mistakes or missing things. So if I did, please let me know. I want the right information out there. It's not about me being right. It's about players having the correct information. I'm just trying to pass it along. So thank you guys for your time. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.